Yes, sir.
अच्छा.
Good afternoon, all. Honorable Chancellor, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, all esteemed panelists for today, our Dean, School of Law and Constitutional Studies, Dr. Rashmi Nagpal, Associate Dean, Dr. Mohammad Imran, our esteemed colleagues from Meerut campus and Gango campus, Saharanpur, and my dear students. I, Anjali Upadhyay, Assistant Professor, School of Law and Constitutional Studies, Meerut, extends very hearty and warm welcome to each one of you present in this webinar. I welcome you all on the occasion of induction program to LLM students and discussion on legal research and learning paradigms in India. Role of law schools. Saraswati represents intelligence, cosmic knowledge, creativity, education, enlightenment, power, and divine knowledge. Saraswati Vanna, please.
नहीं आ रहा है कनेक्शन कट रहा है
May I request our Associate Dean, Dr. Imran, to welcome and address the gathering. Please, sir.
Thanks a lot, Anjali. Thank you very much for providing me the opportunity to welcome the esteemed panelists and the guests for today's webinar. Honorable Chancellor Shri Kumar Shekhar Vijayan sir, presiding over the session for today. Honorable Justice Shri Rajesh Tandon ji, former Judge Uttarakhand High Court, in absentia, he is joining us very soon. Shri Anup Varshney ji, Ma'am, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Shobhit University, Professor Amar Prakash Garg sir. Dean Shobhit University School of Law and Constitutional Studies, Professor Dr. Rashmi Khurana Nagpal ma'am. Director Administration, Shobhit University, Professor M.K. Mishra sir. Faculty members, the Dean and Directors joined us today from the various schools of the university. And the most important part of the today's webinar or the induction program, the most important partakers, the students of LLM and other programs. I, Dr. Imran, on behalf of the School of Law and Constitutional Studies, would like to welcome you all on this auspicious occasion of today's webinar and induction program to the LLM students, followed by a discussion on legal research and learning paradigms, the role of law schools. It is a glorious moment to extend the warm welcome to the Honorable Chancellor Shekhar Vijayan sir, who is presiding over the session today, that we all found a visionary leader a true motivator guide behind each and every success of the programs or the schools or the university wise, we can say. I would like to extend my warm welcome to Shri Anup Varshney sir.
Namaskar. Namaskar.
We cannot deny the fact that he has indulged in various professional commitments with the ministry, but he accepted our request to be with us and to bless the students of our law school. I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the school, and on behalf, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much.
I'm glad and proud, feel proud to welcome the guests who are joining us very soon. I would like to thank and welcome Professor Amar Prakash Garg sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of the University, to bless us on this occasion and always blessing us whenever we requested him. He is very much he is keen interested towards the law, and we had the blessings from him whenever the students or the faculty members were in need. I welcome you, sir. Justice Rajesh Tandon sir has joined us. Sir, I would like to welcome you from the core of my heart on behalf of the school for sparing the precious time to bless us or to bless the students of our law school. I welcome you, sir. Last but not the least, the important part of this today's webinar, the student of our law school and otherwise too, I would like to welcome you all. Without the support of you people, the program is not possible actually. And this program is meant for you people only, to welcome you all. And I hope that today's webinar, you all will be benefited by the experience, the rich experience rather I can say, you all will be benefited and you will have a takeaway from this webinar too. I am delighted to have our Dean Law School, Professor Rashmi Khurana Nagpal ma'am, to be with us in today's webinar. I welcome you, ma'am, and I would request you to take over the session and brief the highlights of today's webinar. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Imran, for inviting me to address. A very good afternoon to one and all. And we are extremely honored and privileged to have our esteemed panelists, along with our grateful to our Honorable Chancellor, Shri Kunwar Shekhar Vijayendra, for sparing his valuable time, Professor Garg, our Vice Chancellor, esteemed panelists, our keynote speakers, Justice Rajesh Tandon, Shri Anup Varshney ji, Professor Manoj Kumar Sinha will be joining in a while, Director, Indian Law Institute. We are extremely delighted to have you, sir, today with us. My colleagues from Shobhit University, Meerut campus, our colleagues from Shobhit University, Saharanpur, and the most valuable students of LLM semester 1 batch 2020. So it gives me extreme pleasure to share with one and all that very, very recently our university has been conferred with Utkrisht Sansthan Vishkarma Puraskar 2020 by Honorable Union Minister for Human Resource Development, Shri Nishant Pokhriyal ji. This award is for the contribution of the university towards human cause. That is, we have provided our university facilities to be the quarantine center for a period of over 3 months. Sorry, sir, for some connectivity issue. I was not able to reconnect again. It gives me immense pleasure to have you with us all today. And Professor Sinha has also joined. A very good afternoon, sir, to you. Justice Rajesh Tandon, Shri Anup Varshney, our Honorable Chancellor, and our visionary leader, our own Vice Chancellor, Professor Garg, present at this moment. It gives me immense pleasure to share with all of us today on this platform that recently, very recently, our university has been conferred with Utkrisht Sansthan Vishkarma Puraskar 2020 by Honorable Union Minister for Human Resource Development, Shri Nishant Pokhriyal ji, for our selfless contribution during COVID-19, converting our hostels into quarantine center for around a period of more than 3 months, and supplying more than 10,000 bottles of the sanitizers to district administration free of cost. We were able to do this under the visionary leadership of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Garg, because our aim, our mission is to empower nation through education, empowering nation through education and good human values. So whatever little we could do as a university, as an academic institution, we tried to do our best, and we are grateful to the Honorable Minister for giving us due credit for the same. As far as our LLM program is concerned, we offer 4 specializations, and we believe that like rivers, acquired human knowledge does not flow backwards. So, and without an infrastructure of sound legal system, legal education, legal research is unthinkable. Whatsoever we may talk of legal research methodology being taught as a part of curriculum. So our endeavor is that that doesn't remain only as a part of an academic examination to be passed. So our PhD program, our LLM program focuses on legal research as well as a sound legal education system. We have among our panelists all from law background, but from different connectivity, different connected institutions. So Professor Sinha is there, who leads a very, very good institute as far as the legal research is concerned. And I personally very, very appreciative of the fact that the legal research undertaken by the students and the faculty of ILI remains unmatchable. Now, we believe that teaching and research both are important. And for that, we are a novel institute where we provide in the semester 4th of our LLM program an opportunity to the students to take up teaching internship program for 2 months time here only in our law school. So this is something distinct that we focus on as compared to other institutions in the vicinity. I'm so grateful once again to have all the esteemed panelists with us discussing the topic of this session, which is legal research and learning paradigms in India, where the role of law schools and other institutions are involved. And my best wishes to our students of semester 1. I wish them good luck for their career and hope to see them very soon physically in the classrooms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your introductory remarks. Now we have amongst us Shri Anup Kumar Varshney, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Law and Justice. Sir completed his LLB honors and LLM from Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh in 1985. He is topper of his batch in LLM. He has been guest speaker in National Institute of Criminology and Forensic Science, Ministry of Senior Police Officers and Judges. He is ex-executive committee member of Indian Institute of Public Administration, New Delhi. He is author of 32 legal articles published in journals of repute. Advisor, expert law in UPSC. He is key speaker of legislative drafting in various universities. We are privileged to have you with us, sir.
Thank you.
I invite you to please address the gathering.
Thank you. Thank you, Anjali ji. Respected Chancellor Sir, Shobit University, Kumar Shekhar Vijayan ji, Vice Chancellor of the University, Professor Dr. Amar Garg ji, Honorable Justice Rajesh Tandon ji, Chairman Arbitration and Mediation Center, Dr. and Professor Manoj Kumar Sinha ji, my learned friend and Director of Indian Law Institute. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Oh, okay. Professor Manoj Kumar Sinha ji is my very best friend. Respected Professor and Mahesh Mishra ji, retired IPS officer, who is an elder brother to me and has been ideal to me since my student life, and he has achieved a lot, and he has been an ideal to us when we were students of law. And Professor Rashmi Nagpal ji, and my dear young friends who are joining this LLM program of Shobit Universities. Dear friends, legal profession has been a noble profession since long. When I inherit this profession law from my grandfather, he was a leading advocate of Aligarh, and my father was also advocate. My two brothers were advocates, and myself also initially an advocate at Aligarh. I did my LLM from Aligarh University, and I wish to share that in previous times, laws, teaching and taking admissions in law was sometimes taken as a granted कि it is a very easy job. When somebody is not getting admission in other things, he should join law. But slowly and gradually, with the advent of 5 years law courses and establishment of national law universities and emergence of other law schools in India, so many law schools and universities, Shobit University and other universities, and came into existence, imparting education to law students, giving them good educations. And because to my mind, we are part of the criminal justice system. No society and nation can survive without the effective criminal justice system. And at the backbone of the criminal justice system, law universities and law schools are there, because they are producing the lawyers of today, judges of today, arbitrators, mediators, and police officers. All need legal education and research, and recent research methodology means. And without this, nobody can survive. So, to my mind, we are also, it is the legal profession is also a part of, and law schools and universities is a part of criminal justice system, beside the four organs of criminal justice system. That's why we are now deviating from traditional system of teaching, classroom teaching and other things. We have so many innovative approaches nowadays in online teachings, moot court competitions, internship in each semesters of law and LLM. Previously, when we were the students, only some we had exposure only for limited cases to courts. We used to visit only 2 4 5 times to the court, and now the students are having an exposure in each semester to join where the best lawyers firms and some commissions of their choice wherever they want to do some internship. And we are also having one institute of legal research and drafting at the law ministry. We are giving training to other law students. So many innovative openings are open to the law students. And to my mind, by doing LLM, after doing a law, LLM, it polished the mind of the student. They are more, they become more analytical and expert in their field. They have the in-depth knowledge. I have been associated with Indian Law Institute with the grace of Professor Manoj Sinha ji. He is my elder, he is my very best friend and my brother. And I used to travel with him a long time and when I was here at the Law Institute. And I am grateful to him to he's giving every time, every year chance to be an observer in the CLAT, Common Law Entrance Test for LLM and PhD. And I am also part of that exercise and he's giving me chance for that. So to my mind, so many changes have been given in the present day society, in NIS, in CBI, in several commissions, several tribunals are there for the openings of the law students, and for that purpose, there should be a the role of the law schools and universities has increased manifold, because it is the teachers and law schools and universities which polish the students. Because without teachers and law schools, best law schools and opportunities, no students can do anything. Because it is ultimately the law professors and law schools which polish and gives knowledge, in-depth knowledge, infrastructure and personality development to the all students. Keeping that in view, the students of today have more opportunities. They have the net system, webinar seminars, conferences, moot court competitions, and where they can exchange with different other universities students. They came across with other ideas, other students ideas, other schools universities ideas. Some short time, some madam. uh, that's why, to cut short, so to give time to other speakers also. So,
No, sir, no issue. No issue, sir. Please, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
so I have been associated with legal field since 34 years. So I want to share one thing with the students of this esteemed organization, Shobir University, to do the hard work. You will be paid for it. You will get success in your life. I when I was seventh class student, my father expired, and we did some hard work, and by all under all leading advocates at Aligarh. So it is your own merit and confidence that will pay. Mahesh Mishra ji Bhai Sahib is there, and he knows me very well, and I know him very well. He has been my ideal since my LLB days. He cracked so many. He was selected in so many examinations in judiciary, in police, and else. So he was an ideal to keep an ideal in whether it's some elder brother or some professors or some judges, because as in law school reforms in law schools have been tremendous, and they are imparting education to the future of the nation, to the students who will be the future of the nation by joining law profession, judges, arbitrators, and other services. Law firms are today, there are several opportunities to the law students by joining MNCs, law firms, and other several opportunities are there in each and every MNCs. Previously, these opportunities were not there. So I will ask the students of Shobit University who are being inducted into this LLM program to work hard, and when it is the period they can do well, and their future depend on on their these days education. And uh, and I have been to Shobit University. I have seen the campus, the moot court hall and campus. So all are very excellent, and under the dynamic leadership of Chancellor Sir Kumar Shekhar Vijayendra Sir, and Chancellor and Vice Chancellor Shri Amarjit Ji, Amar Garg Ji, and yourself, Madam Nagpal Ji, and Professor Mahesh Mishra Ji. It will do a better job, and it will give and boost the students and their career, and will enrich their personality. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
May I request Anjali to please tell us about the profile, or read the profile of Professor Manoj Kumar Sinha sir, who is with us for today's webinar. Anjali Upadhyay?
Not necessary, I'll start also.
No, sir. Let her give the.
I think Dr. Mohammed Ji, let me start. So that will be. Can you hear Bashne sir? आप सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So छोड़ो, उसको कोई खास ऐसी बात नहीं है. Introduction पे let's start. So we should
Yes,
save
sir.
time also. Honorable Justice Rajesh Tandon Ji, former Judge, Uttarakhand High Court, Chairman, Arbitration and Mediation Center. Kumar Shekhar Vijayendra Ji, Chancellor, Shobit University. Professor Amar P. Garg, Vice Chancellor, Shobit University. My good friend Sri Anup Barsane Ji, Joint Secretary and the Legal Ministry, Law Ministry. Sri M.K. Misra sir, IPS retired, Professor SLC, Shobit University. And of course, Dr. Rasmi K. Nagpal, Professor and Dean, Shobit University. And Professor Muhammad Imran. Thanks for inviting me and to share some of my ideas or thought about the with like young students who have joined the LLM program in your university. I'm very happy and I'm very pleased to learn from the Madam Dr. Professor Rasmi that university is doing good, and it has recently received an award, and congratulations for that. When I talk about the legal education today and how LLM students should see themselves, LLM students should not see themselves as a continuation of the education. Now they are in the second stage, very formative stage of their career. They could have become a judge, they could have become easily like a lawyer, or join as a law clerk in office or bank or anywhere after completing LLB degree. So not all law students, all 60,000, 70,000 did not opt for the LLM program. A handful of students chose carefully for the LLM program, and after that, some will go for PhD program. So it means like, it's out of total strength of law students, a few 10% or 5% students are going for the LLM program. LLM program has to be seen independently, differently, and how I see and what I want to say, that you are the future of legal education in India. Future legal education means if you choose to decide to go in the teaching, you have 20 to 30 years in your hand, 40 years in your hand to save the legal education of India. If you decide to go to the court, you have a future to save the jurisprudence of the jurisprudence of in India. You will give judgment. So nobody. So you have a great future, and for that you are going to get an additional skill. So basic education you have done. Now LLM program will give a basic skill. So you should not think that's you're going to get a degree simply LLM and you apply. You see more deeper in this subject. Your focus should be more deeper in this subject. Whatever subject, whatever specialization you take. If you take an IPR, you have to have study IPR more with the inquisitive mind, questioning. It's not passing a marks and getting something. You have, because nation depends on you. Legal profession depends on you. So we were all one time LLM students, and we thought, and gradually because of the mentoring and guidance and of the lot of people, our thinking have changed, and we said, how you contribute. So you are going to contribute. You are not going to here to live for the education. You are going to contribute in shaping legal education, in shaping the legal profession in the country, and country depends heavily in coming days on all of you. So all you have to see. So what I see when you study today, we live in the globalization era. Interdependence have increased. Narrow way of study will never help you. So globalization has brought a lot of changes in domestic system and also in international system. Economically, culturally, religiously, lot of things are mixing these days, and we adopt. So like Christmas is coming, whether you are Hindu, whether you are Muslim, all are waiting desperately for the celebration of the Christmas. Similarly for the Eid, I remember Eid or Bakrid, all these festivals. So we celebrate. We always, because of we believed in diversity, we enjoyed, and we waited for we always waited for the festival, whether it belongs to Hindu or Muslim or Christian. So for all my children, they are waiting for the Christmas. So that kind of value has to be cultivated in all of you. You just simply, if you join the LLM students to get a degree, I have nothing, then you will not walk a long distance. You may get something which you have aspired, but you have to think, because beyond what our Prime Minister is saying, what our other eminent persons have said, and why all of a sudden 2015 onwards we started celebrating Constitution Day. Because some way the day which we used to celebrate as a law day has been shifted to the Constitution Day, because Constitution belongs to everyone. We the people of India, so it belongs to everyone. Let everybody aware, not the entire articles of 395 articles and all the schedules of the Indian Constitution, but at least preamble of the Constitution and fundamental duties. I say, if one understand deeply preamble, that he understand entire Constitution, whether it's a fundamental rights, whether it's a directive principle of state policy and fundamental duties. We have to see, as a student, you have to see, is there any connect? What justice means? So when you talk about the justice, so justice, common people will say justice means legal representation to something, or access to justice means legal representation. But access to justice or justice means whatever due to everyone, that has to be given. What John Rawls has said in his book in Theory of Justice in 1971, in the justice as a fairness, justice as a doctrine of fairness. And we live in an era, so justice, when we talk about the justice, we have to look into the justice which talks about the preamble of the Indian Constitution, social, economic, and political. we have to question ourselves whether this justice has reached to the 130 crore people of India or not. How we can play an important role to ensure that everybody should have, in true sense, enjoyment of justice in all the aspect, whether it's a social aspect, economic aspect, and political aspect. Of course, we have honorable judges, we have a court, which we feel very proud that court functions independently. Court becomes like, guardian of the protection of the human rights and promotion of human rights in the domestic. So we have very fortunate a country which believes in rule of law, democracy, and our honorable judges, High Court and Supreme Court have ensured. In many occasions, they come face to face with the executive and legislature, but they never deviate and see that the rights of the common people are respected and implemented in proper manner. So that is the reason we have landmark judgment, series of judgments, which I don't need to go in that. As I said, you will study for 1 year or 2 years. If you take a constitution, you have to go constitution in deeper. You keep yourself abreast. If something happened, there are a lot of things we learn while observing. Lot of things, practical experiences we learn by observing. So if I have realized something which I may be knowing earlier also, governor has a power, discretionary power. When the conflict between the West Bengal government and the governor, then we said, how much power governor has? So Article 257 becomes important. Article 355 becomes important. Article 163 of the Constitution, and governor has power, discretionary power, which is missing in the case of the president. But governor has much wider power in there. How much government can intervene? So as a law student, as a teacher of law, so both have to take it. So find out the cases decided by the Supreme Court, High Court, and how interpretation is done on that particular. So in one hand, it says that federalism is the basic structure doctrine. So federalism is a basic structure. So that has been said. But Article 3 gives power to the parliament to amend, alter, and excuse a state. So there's a power. So central government, of course, president has to, through this bill, that parliament on its own, it will not take. And parliament has to also seek the opinion of the state regarding the alteration of the state. So you see a lot of conflicts in the constitution also are interpretation, whether it's a it's a union of states, whether our constitution is with federal structure is a strong center or flexibility, or is a cooperative federalism. Lot of aspects which as a law students in the LLM, you might have not got a time to read in the much deeper or sincerely when you were a student of the LLB, because your focus was more on the become a graduate, so you can start your journey, you can start practicing. So a lot of things in the 3 years or 5 years, you thought about doing good work and just learn something which you can learn after when you go in the profession, whatever profession you choose. But when you choose to go for the further, you said, after 5, so your destination initially was the 5-floor building. Now you have entered in 6th, and then you will go to the 10th floor also if you go for the PhD. So many students stop after reaching the 5th floor. They said, I'm satisfied with the life and I'll learn from here. And they learned from the discussing and engaging with others. Gradually they pick subjects in there. So I see that LLM students should treat themselves, focus themselves, they're independent. They have larger responsibility. They have to understand the subject more into there, and practical solution. So if Barsanaji has any issue related with the legal interpretation, he will ask LLM students or professor or the university teachers. So LLM, the moment you say, first year LLB students, I'll send you, he'll say, don't send me the first because they are very raw. Of course, LLM students can do research, can do teaching also. I want LLM or PhD students for my research work. So means research skill has to be developed, and it's a time you have to develop your research skill. That another part which when you do the specialization, that is very important. What I see that specialization, when you do, you choose carefully your topic, and also your understanding should not be in not confined to communitarians, what they believe in the everything confined to a sovereign state, communitarians. So they believe on the nothing is beyond. You have to think as a cosmopolitans. which believes in the global context. They think about the everyone, like an entire Vasudev Kutumbakam, or they think, world is one. So you have to think how to integrate the ideas which you are going to learn here in this 1 year time or 2 years time. So that particular subject. So if you take a topic now, like, you have series of areas, starting with the, uh, international trade law, international environment law, international human rights, humanitarian law, you name, you'll find every area is there. But my suggestion to you, whatever area you choose, whether you choose a constitutional perspective or international perspective, you try to understand both framework. Both framework means what the framework are in the international level. I have come across, I don't want to judge any people in my life, and I'll never judge. But what I see personally, that when you claim yourself you are expert of the environment, so you should have some idea about the other areas also. You can't confine, I'm expert of environmental law only on 3 angle, part 3, part 4, and part 4A. Article 21, 48A and 51G related cases, I will say and become a. But you have to tell about the Air Act, Water Act, all the domestic, and then you have to go to the international treaties also, Stockholm Review and other things. So environment is not complete. Understanding of environment law is not complete unless you move to the both national and international. So I believe, and I suggest my young friends and boys and girls, that when you read any branch of law in your specialization, even probably like a heavily on domestic perspective, you try to understand basic on the international framework as well. Or that is also job of the teacher to ensure that some kind of international aspects are taught to them so they can understand, and of course they will take it further. Then also the last point I'll just say, and then I'll close here. Also I suggest you also focus in the research. You don't go for the just examination purpose. When you have any topic you teach, is going to be covered by the teacher in the classroom, you come prepared. You try to read as much as possible. Maybe 2 good articles if you read, one from the national or good articles you read, good books you see, and try to pose questions to the teacher. Involve the teacher in the class. So class will become interesting. You will also learn something, and you will also equally contribute in the class while asking some question to the teacher. So be prepared. Don't come in the class just like, you are there. And in the last point, so be prepared yourself whenever what class, because timetable is there, what course is going to be teach next class, you have all the information. So accordingly you prepare yourself, read the judgments of the Supreme Court, read of the judgments of the High Court, and discussion should focus on the how court has, because we have disconnect. So how court has looked in that particular thing. So case-based studies is very important in the, at least in the LLM, where students can discuss in detail about the case, how court and what court has looked into, how court has approached this particular issue. That is also very important in the LLM program. This will give you some kind of practical exposure. When you focus more on the, in the case-based study, some kind of practical exposure is there. What I'll say and conclude in your complete journey of LLM program, you try to write a good LLM dissertation. Don't focus on the past, because ultimately teacher is your guardian also. So no guardian wants their student, like if their son and daughter fail or something, so they want to help you also. So they will uplift, they will lift you. When you are drowning, you are not deserved, but still they will try to see that you sail through and you get out, you pass from this place and do well in your life. So maybe not today, after 3-4 years, you will realize that you may grow also. There's a possibility, but it's better to focus on do the sincere work, and that will be always helpful to evolve as a good scholar. And today, what is the last, which is very important, which we have, don't treat education as a service. So you feel that you pay the money and teachers are supposed to teach me. It's not market. It's a guru sister relation has to be strengthened day by day. Somehow I notice, or many of my colleagues are noticing, some way, somehow it has gone to the large sections of the society. They have to teach because we have paid. You have paid. That is good, because institution has to run. Everyone is paying some way, somehow. people have sacrificed life for the independence, so they have paid. So that is, but we recognized, we respect. So there's a feeling for that person. Those who have sacrificed life for better future for us, not for certain gain. So they have, so their contribution is acknowledged. So teacher is your guru, and guru has to be respected. Whatever, like an even teacher is like, somewhere you feel that today teacher is not prepared, not happy, you can say it. Teacher will also realize, but you have to give respect to your teacher, who is the torch bearers for you throughout your life. And if you give respect, you will get the respect. And I say this is our culture, and that has to be followed. They say value education, I feel that is very necessary today to inculcate. And I wish that all you all will try to follow this one. With this, I wish all of you very best and wonderful future. And whenever if I get a chance, I will visit definitely Soviet University, not far away from here, 70 kilometers. I can come and we'll have interaction. Till then, thank you and stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your motivation and guidance to the students and showing them life insights. Sorry, I missed the introductory remark.
No problem.
Sir is director in Indian Law Institute. He did his doctorate in international law from Jawaharlal Nehru University, LLM from the University of Nottingham, and LLB from University of Delhi. His areas of specializations include human rights, constitutional law, international humanitarian law, international refugee law, international criminal law, and international institutions. Thank you, sir. Now I request Justice Rajesh Tandon, former judge, Uttarakhand High Court, and Chairman, Arbitration and Mediation Center. Honorable Sir has enrolled as an advocate on 28 March 1968. He was designated as senior advocate in the full court meeting held on 9th of April 2000 by Allahabad High Court. He was appointed as Additional Advocate General of Uttarakhand after bifurcation of state of UP for the state of Uttarakhand and state of Uttar Pradesh on September 2002. He has been appointed as Judge of Uttarakhand High Court on 3rd of July 2003 by the President. He has been appointed as Chairman of Cyber Appellate Tribunal by the President of India and took charge on 25th of February 2009 at New Delhi. Sir has delivered landmark judgments on human rights issues, on cyber law under the Information Technology Act 2000, environmental law, intellectual property rights, spiritual law, rent control legislation. Now I request Sir to please address the gathering. Sir, please.
So you are on mute, sir. Please unmute yourself.
थैंक यू अंजलि जी, आपको नमस्कार। आज के वर्चुअल डायस प्रेजेंट हियर कुंवर शेखर विजेंदर, ऑनरेबल चांसलर शोभित यूनिवर्सिटी, डॉक्टर अमर पी गर्ग, वाइस चांसलर शोभित डीम्ड यूनिवर्सिटी मेरठ, Mr. Manoj Kumar Sinha, who has just spoken about how to carry on the LLM course and how to educate the children about the law, and Sri Anup Vashne ji, or Mr. Amran, Mr. Rashmi Nagpal ji, Sri M.K. Mishra, Professor and Director Administration, Shobhit Deemed University. It's a very good, December is a very good month. We have just celebrated 10th of December as a Human Rights Day. Mr. Manoj Kumar Sinha has just elaborated about the topics which the LLM students has to follow, because the LLM students is not a beginner of the law. He has just completed their education in the law. They are already law graduates, and now they have to go on upper stories. Upper stories means after the LLB, the question of LLM comes, then research comes. Therefore, they are in higher level, and they have to rise much than the LLB courses, which they have just a beginner in the course of law. Now I'll just start the this religious ceremony of orientation program of the LL program for LLM by Ganesh Vandana, because every work has to be started with the Ganesh Vandana, and if he will not use the Ganesh Vandana, then he will be deprived of the much offerings and much education of the Ganesh ji itself. मैं उन भगवान गजानन की वंदना करता हूं जो समस्त कामनाओं को पूर्ण करने वाले हैं, सुवर्ण तथा सूर्य के समान देदीप्यमान कांत से चमक रहे हैं, सपर का यज्ञोपवीत धारण करते हैं, एक दंत हैं, लंबोदर हैं तथा कमल के आसन पर विराजमान हैं. Why I have said Ganesh Vandana? Because education is a part of religious, as well as it is recognized as a part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. We perform Saraswati Puja. We perform Havan in all educational institutions. When I was vice chairman of the Amity University, I have seen that in all the campus, Havan is going on. Still, it is going on. We used to enter the university after performing the Havan, and then we go in our classes or in our compartment, in our rooms and all that. We have to perform the Havan first, and then we can go for further. Now, this is the religious act. Therefore, law students and LLM, they must learn that this education policy is just a recognized religious act. Then I have said that it is also a part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. LLM students and LLB students all are aware that there was in the educational line, there was a judgment of Mohini Jains in the education part. It's a very important judgment on the education part. Their lordships have, Supreme Court have said that education is a part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Maybe a Mohini Jain judgment or Islamic education, whatever may be, in all the judgments, the Supreme Court has repeated that education is a part of Article 21 of the Constitution of India. LLM students must be knowing that stalwarts have defined the profession of law. The law infuses life and blood into the dry skeleton. Whatever we have the dryer, the law provides the life and blood provided by the legislature and creates a living organism appropriate and educate to meet the needs of the society. That's the needs of the society, whatever society needs it, either environmental law, human rights, whatever may be, that is the need of the society. And we provide the organism of the living organism to meet the needs of the society. The orientation program, therefore, is necessary in order to understand your own home, where the legal education is being imparted by the Shobhit University. I have seen the Shobhit University where the honey trees are there, and they provide the sweetness to the students, to the law lecturers, and to everybody, and even to me. Even in all the festivals, I am getting the good honey from the Soviet University, and I am thankful to Kumar Shekhar Vijender ji for providing a good honey to all concerned, including me. Today, the legal field, you must be knowing that it is not dependent upon the bookish knowledge only. There was a time that only civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, and Indian penal code, these the three were they have to be tips on the students. But nowadays they are treated only a guidelines for all, and now the it has taken a complete reform. What our Lord Dunning has said, the students, you must have heard the name of Lord Dunning. Lord Dunning has said that the law has played an important role in the interpretation of various laws. This legal field has given an important role. When we come to our vision of justice, we cannot forget the contribution of Lord Dunning, which he has described in his book, The Due Process of Law. He has said, "For I think it an undeniable position that a competent knowledge of the laws of that society in which we live is the proper accomplishment of every gentleman and a scholar, highly useful, I had almost said essential part of liberal and polite education." What he has said, our government of India, our Prime Minister, our Kumar Shekhar Vijender Singh has brought this legal field said by Lord Dunning into a real concept. That is, he has included the protection of human rights, that is the life, liberty, and equality, dignity of the individual. He has included environmental law, that is natural environment. The college itself is a natural environment. But anyway, the teaching of the environmental law has also become a necessary. Apart from that, the cyber law has also become very important. Now, during the COVID-19, the cyber law has taken a great role because of the alternative disputes resolution. Now, the video system, completely cyber law section 4 of the information technology has provides, that is the only digital evidence. Now the digital evidence, digital aspect of the matter, and from the video conferencing, everything is going on by video conferencing. Even the alternative dispute resolution is going on the digital basis. That is the adoption of Information Technology Act. All this has come, and now we are in the midst of this 2020, and now 20 are going on. In 221, we will see that digital importance has become very important. Information technology has taken a shape, new shape, and therefore expansion of the right to life and personal liberty has become very important nowadays. And therefore Article 21 of the Constitution of India, Article 51, these are the important, as Mr. Manoj Kumar Sinha said, that the Constitution has become very important for all these students, law students, LLM students, and all the citizens of the country. The Constitution of India has become very important. The law students, LLM students, and all those, they have to be tips certain judgments of the Supreme Court. Just like right to travel, what is the important judgment of the Supreme Court? That should be in the tips. That is the judgment of the Maneka Gandhi's judgment. Right to travel, right to privacy, it's a Khadak Singh judgment. Right to prisoners interview, that's a Prabha Devi's judgment. Right to fair trial, that is Police Commissioner versus Registrar, Delhi High Court. right against torture and custodial violence. Everybody knows that is D.K. Basu's case. There, that should be in the tips of the law students and LLM students. Then right to safe drinking, sexual harassment, everybody knows that is Visakha case. And right to quality of the life, that is also a judgment of the Supreme Court in H.L. Tiwari's case. And now for arbitration purposes, that Kodak Railways is the important judgment of Justice Sikri of the Supreme Court of India. All this should be in the tips of the LLM students because they are much on higher degree than law students. In the end, I will repeat a श्लोक ऑफ गीता, मात्र कर्म अपने लिए करना बंधन है, संसार के लिए करना सेवा है और भगवान के लिए करना पूजा है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir, for your enlightening and inspiring words. It's a privilege to have our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Amar Prakash Garg, a person possessing eminent knowledge, an eminent scientist, and eminent academician. He is ex-professor and founder head He is ex-professor and founder head microbiology, Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut, with teaching and research experience of 45 years in microbiology and biotechnology. Known for his research contributions on protection of human hair against fungal infections and development of eco-friendly bio-bleach process for pulp and paper industry. He is member of various governing bodies and academic societies. We are privileged to have him as our Vice Chancellor of Shobit University, Meerut campus. I invite you, sir, to please address the gathering.
Thanks, Dr. Anjali. Honorable the Chancellor, Kumar Shekhar Vijayanji, Honorable Justice Rajesh Tandonji, to whom I have met 3 times, and he has impressed me, not only as a justice, but even as a human being. Dr. Manoj Kumar ji, and Anup Varshney ji, Mishra ji, Rashmi Nagpal ji, Mohammad Imran, Anjali, other faculty members, and the newly joining members of Shobit family as the students of law. You are welcome in the university, and I assure you that you will get a pleasant, lovely, interactive legal education system in the university. How I say that the legal education is more important than the medical education. In medical education, as you are seeing that the specialized doctors are orthopedic, dentist, even in dentist, you will find the 9 different cardiologists and so many things. Similarly, there are the specialized lawyers. And now you know that in medical profession without PG, there is no survival. Similarly, you will find very soon that in legal education also, for the survival and for the competitiveness, the postgraduate degree and postgraduate competence, I will say, is very important. Now, in LLB course, we study the basic law. And in LLM, it is a very specialized course based on the legal research, investigative law, the current topics of the law. If you see in the international scenario, you will find that there is still India is not at a comfortable level at the international platform in the legal education. For example, artificial intelligence. Do we have sufficient law? in artificial intelligence? No, not yet. We need to frame, and this is the duty of the legal professionals who are doing the legal research. So the students of postgraduate law education, you should select such type of the topics which are of the current interest, where the vast scope of collection of the knowledge, where you can contribute, where you can significantly contribute, I will say. Earlier, you know that CPC, CRPC, IPC, criminal law and the civil law, but now the financial crime. This financial crime is a very specialized crime, and it can totally change the entire country. It can change the several lives. If one ghotala comes, then it will affect thousands and thousands of people, their lives. So such type of the financial crime, such type of the system, such type of the legal education, it need to be investigative more properly and more in a scientific manner. Competitive law, competition law. You know that the most of the business firms, they are doing the buy and bury. Recent example you will find that of the Facebook. They bought the WhatsApp and Instagram, and then they buried these two companies and the Facebook at the up. So this is here the lawsuit lies. They are eroding the competition. So the competitive law, competition commission of India, there is there, CCI, but still it is under the nascent stage. It needs to be addressed. It is the duty of the postgraduate students of the law. You will find that IPR, in IPR vast scope. So many people now, they are focusing and concentrating on the filing of the patents. Patents of the legal value, patents of the commercial value, patents of the business value. And there is a very tough competition. So such type of the education, such type of the legal research is required. You will find that the pandemic law, this Mahamari law, you have just now seen, it is under a very, very nascent stage. We have a duty also, not only the rights, as Justice Rajesh Tandonji has elaborated that we have several rights to this, but I am of the very strong opinion that for the development of the country, for the progress of the country, there should be these duties, fundamental duties, they should be more elaborative, and there should be the more focus, and they should be enforceable. Unless we are having the fundamental duty, if, for example, I have a right to drive, but the other person who is walking on the road, he has a right to safety. And if we are not putting the seat belt, we are violating the right of the other person. So the rights and duties, they go together. So such type of the system we have to frame, we have to bring out the system that everybody, okay, they have the right, but at the same time, they have the duties also. And the rights and duties, they should go together. For example, we see in environmental science, the recent example is of the biodiversity law. Biodiversity, because if we are not maintaining the biodiversity, the entire environmental system will be changed. We are eroding the more than 70,000 species of plants and animals, they have been extinct. And we are exploiting the nature. If you spend $1 on the protection of the environment, the nature gives you $9 back. There should be the conservation of the water law. There are several things still which are required. And the law, you know that the law protects the entire society. As Justice Tandon Sahab has mentioned that for a microbial system, for the life, for a system, if there is no law, Just you think, if there would have been no law, there would not have been any evolution too. Even the species, even the microbes, even the leaves, even the forest, in everywhere, even the animals and even the plants and even the microbes, they also follow a law. They also follow certain principles, and they also follow, and that is why there is evolution. Everything. So the legal education law is very important for the evolution of the society, for the evolution of the mind, for the civilization of the society, for the business, for everything, not only for the survival. Medical education is important only for the survival of the man, but the legal education is important for every aspect, for the quality of life, for a better life, for a wonderful life, for a significant life, for a peaceful life, for everything. If you will see, then for every part of the life, the law is important. So I would like to invite the attention of the postgraduate students of law that you try to select such type of the legal topics which are recent, current, which are futuristic, where you can give some guidance to the students, where you can give some guidance to the society that such type of the law, such type of the system is required. And for that, interaction, analytical skills, they are required, they are necessary. In that particular type of the education, I assure you that in SLCS, you will get it. You will get it. And thanks to coronavirus, I will say it, that it has given us such a good platform that sitting on such a distance from so many places, we are interacting. So such type of the, I would like to request the Dean Faculty of Law that there should be many lectures online and discussion part, interactive part, so that the pupils sitting at the ease place, at the comfortable place, at their comfort, they can discuss. And the discussion is the one of the most important part of the any legal education system. What I visualize, that the credibility and trust, these are the two most important factors for any legal profession. So if we are able to create credibility and trust, and for that and on that, we are working. We are working, and we assure you that the credibility and trust of the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology will never be let down. We are honestly, and we are working very hard to prepare the good legal education experts, which are the need of the society, which are the need of the country, which are the need of the better life. So I congratulate the Dean Faculty of Law, the Honorable Chancellor, and other faculty members of the law that they have been able to design this 1 year LLM program for the working professionals. This is only for the working professionals who are having at least 3 years of the experience. They are already having a good knowledge of the law. So only they required that a systematic study or systematic legal research mind to be developed. That is why we have developed this course, and it will be extensive from 9 to 5 on Saturday and Sunday. And the students who will be joining the university, they will get all facilities in the hostel, including the mess and all the necessary things. I live just near the university, so I will make it sure that I am able to personally look after those who will be joining here. So anytime if you are having any problems or any difficulties or any suggestions, please do not hesitate. And welcome once again in Shobit Institute of Engineering and Technology. And thank you very much for joining the university. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your enlightening words. It is a great pleasure that we have our Chancellor Sir, Shri Kuvar Shekhar Vijendra, who is co-founder and Chancellor of Shobit University, India, and a prominent social entrepreneur based in New Delhi, who carries leadership roles in many organizations. He is co-chairman, National Council on Education of ASSOCHAM, the oldest apex chamber of commerce and industries of India. Sir is a persistent advocate of the initiatives for education for all, secular values, crisis management through diplomatic and peaceful ways, and globalized systems of learning and peaceful coexistence. He had been instrumental in the development of a number of higher educational institutes, research centers, and a hospital in North India. He is very actively involved with a number of social organizations also. He is an avid reader, philanthropist, a traveler, a visionary leader par excellence, a passionate Gandhian, and a social influencer. I request you, sir, to please address the gathering.
Thank you very much, Anjali. Good afternoon, everybody. On this very important day of induction program of LLM 2 years, we are having with us Honorable Justice Rajesh Tandonji. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today. It's an honor to have you with us. Shri Anup Varshneji, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Law. Dr. Manoj Sinha ji, a very eminent academician in the law fraternity. My colleague, Professor A.P. Garg, the Vice Chancellor. Dr. Rashmi Nagpal, the Dean. Professor M.K. Mishra. Dr. Imran, Anjali, and most important, the new members of our family, Shobit family, the students of LLM second year. It's a very important day indeed for everybody. For us, we are happy that our family is getting extended. And for our students, they are coming to an institution, a place of learning where they can fulfill their aspirations, their dreams, for what they aspire from long, I believe. Today, the discussion, a topic had been given today, the word legal research and learning paradigms in India. Today, the world has changed completely. Technology has changed the world. A global approach has changed the world. And two factors which academic legal education is confronting nowadays is one, the increase of technology, a new concept of education, and global trends and transformation. Today, our students have to understand one thing. One, that you are not supposed to interpret the law only. You have to look into the social issues also. And two, that whatever you are doing, you have to find social relevance of that also, as well as the global relevance of that. As Dr. Manoj Sinha mentioned, that LLM students are the future and custodians of legal education, the fraternity, because they are stepping up. LLB was enough if they wanted to start a career as an advocate, or even they wanted to go to judiciary, bureaucracy, or any other place. But once they decided to go for LLM, it means they wish to contribute to the fraternity, which is very important. Second thing, what he mentioned, which has to be remembered by students, that today legal education has to be taken in context of globalization. You cannot look locally only. Honorable Justice Tandon, he started with the Ganeshwar. And when I look at Ganesh, Ganesh symbolizes of everything. The whole management mantra, if we look at, it is in his body symbols, and we can find every symbol of his body has a reason to find a mantra of management, and which is very important for advocates, for students to learn. He was talking about honey also. And when he was talking about honey, it is not only that Shobit University has some passion for honey or some research is happening regarding honey in the campus, but actually it symbolizes of hard work also. Like bees, very small amount of honey. To collect 1 spoon of honey, how much hard work is done? The same is with education. When we say that we want to turn the potential of our youth into reality, or when we say that education empowers, it needs a lot of hard work. And dear students, please be committed to yourself, because to have 1 spoon of honey, so much hard work is required, which needs to be done. Justice Tandon, his passion is human rights, and he was mentioning about human rights, and we had Human Rights Day, recently International Human Rights Day on 10th of December. We have to remember that education is the only tool which brings equality. Because all human rights, whatever we talk about, they talk about equality. And this is the only tool which will bring you to the common platform where everybody stands together. When I look at the research part, generally what is happening? As Professor Garg mentioned, that today we have to think about the new niche areas. The same way, it is very important generally what research we do, which is easy to do, especially in academics. We feel I have to get a degree, I have to complete a project, I have to write an assignment. So let me do, either we become very myopic with our own specializations. What is specialization I have opted, I should not think beyond that. Or we try to find out an area of research which can help me to get a degree fast. The most important thing is, one, the research area, whatever we are talking about, should be socially relevant. The impact of your research should be on the society at large. And secondly, they should be niche areas. जो हो चुका है उसी को दोहराते रहना, बहुत सी बार मैं देखता हूँ कि एक ही केस पे क्या हुआ, इस कोर्ट का क्या है, उसका क्या है, बहुत छोटे छोटे से उस पर बड़ी मायोपिक रिसर्च एरियाज में हम लोग काम करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Yes, it is important to go in details, but to be repetitive is not required. You have to be very innovative in your approach, in your research areas. I was listening to Shri Anup Vachhani, and out of all those important points, what he was talking about, he said that he worked very hard. Hardships were there in the family, but still he's sitting on a place that we all are proud of him. And this is also one of the secret of being successful in life. That if you want to be successful in life, that hard work has to be there always. Justice Rajesh Tandon, whenever I meet, he inspires me. And he inspires me from his being rooted to the grounds. वो कहते हैं ना कि आप आसमान में उड़िए, sky high, fly high, but your roots should be strong enough. वो गणेश वंदना हो या वो हमारे मंत्र हो या हमारा ज्ञान हो, ये बहुत important है. अक्सर होता क्या है जब हम पढ़ने लगते हैं, when we start going to higher education, we start feeling, no, if I will talk something which is very elementary or which is mythological or which is historical, my culture, my religion was talking about, people may call me something else. They may feel that, oh no, acha ye to dakyanusi hai. No, it is not like that. You have to ensure this thing, that yes, it is important to fly high, but most important is that our roots should remain strong, deep, and grounded. Thank you, Honorable Justice Tandon. Every time I listen to you, I feel more inspired. I feel more inspired to read more about our culture and other thing. And I'm sure that our students will also be looking forward for that. What has to be seen? I was looking, generally, a very important point was mentioned by Dr. Manoj Sinha. Generally, what happens that I paid, I should get a degree. I paid, teacher has to teach me, even if I do not wish to learn. We have to remember that education is not a commodity, it's a commitment. And that is an individual commitment. Because it is the duty of every individual of creation of knowledge, and that wealth creation, knowledge creation, they are not doing only for the society, they are doing for them also. This is the most important thing which everybody has to learn. And this culture has to be avoided. Recently, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji was addressing a gathering, and he said we need to avoid the culture of A, B, C, D. I had a curiosity, what is this A, B, C, D all about? So A is avoid. Culture to avoid the problems has to be avoided. B is bypass. Generally what we do, अरे ठीक है नहीं हो रहा है चलो छोड़ दो अच्छा bypass करो इसे आगे चलो. It needs to be avoided. C was confused. Don't be confused. You have to have the answers. Find the answers. And D was delay. Don't delay the things in life, in learning, in profession, wherever you are. And when these four things will not be there, a new road will come. And what is that road which will bring you to success? This is R is responsibility. If your behavior is responsible behavior, if you take the responsibility at least of yourself, of your studies, of your profession, of your passion, O is ownership. Generally, we forget to take ownership. Neither in our profession nor in our academics or passion, we take ownership. We feel we are working for somebody else. मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ तो माँ बाप ने कहा था इसलिए पढ़ रहा हूँ. मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ इसलिए पढ़ रहा हूँ, डिग्री लेनी है. And if I am doing a profession, I am working somewhere, I am doing it because somebody is paying me. Remember, ownership is very important. A is accountability. You have to be accountable to yourself. And D is discipline. That's self-discipline. So if you want to go to the road of success, this is the responsibility, ownership, accountability, and discipline. And I believe if these four important R, O, A, D is there, then no ABCD can stop you from being successful in your life. Whatever research you do, you decide to do, ensure that it is relevant locally and globally. Because when our Honorable Prime Minister talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, it does not mean that through industry only we can be Atmanirbhar. It does not mean that there is somebody else will come and we will stop buying from China, we will become Atmanirbhar. We will become Atmanirbhar when demographically everybody will be self-reliant. Well, every professional will say, yes, I am in position to contribute, not only for the progress of my country, but for the progress of humanity, for the progress of the world. And this is what we are looking forward from our proud Shobhitians. I am happy that from this school, not only good academicians, RR alumni, good young judges are there, in judiciary there are many, teachers are there, professionals are there, entrepreneurs are there. And I am sure that those who have joined us today, those who are starting their journey today, they will not only make us proud, they will make everybody proud, their family, their society, their institution, their university, and everybody who joined us today on a very short notice to bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. God bless us all. Please stay safe. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your blessings. We are fortunate to be guided by you. Your address is always inspiring. Thank you, sir. Now I request Professor M.K. Mishra, retired IPS, Professor and Director Administration, Shobit University, Meerut, for vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. It's immense pleasure to me to propose vote of thanks. Honorable Chancellor Shekhar Bijen ji, Honorable Justice Shri Rajesh Tandon ji, Eminent Professor Shri Manoj Kumar Sinha, Director Indian Law Institute, Shri Anup Vashne, Joint Secretary Ministry of Law and Justice, Honorable Vice Chancellor Shri Amar Prakash Garg ji, Dean Faculty of Law, Assistant Professor and Assistant Dean Mr. Imran, and other faculty members. I must say thanks to esteemed speakers. And firstly, I'll pay my thanks to Shri Anup Vashne ji. He is my younger brother. He's Joint Secretary of Law. And it is a third generation. He's a very close friend of mine, a younger brother. His grandfather was friend of my grandfather. His father was a lawyer, eminent lawyer of Aligarh. My father was also a lawyer. They were also friends. And it is a third generation. And we are also a very close friend. He said that there is a lot of change in the legal education. When we studied, the picture was different, entirely different. Now, the picture is also different from that picture. Because we never heard about intellectual property rights. We never heard. We studied all subjects of law, CRPC, IPC, as Justice Rajesh Tandon ji mentioned.
Imran, just check if there is an issue, technical issue is there.
Yes, sir, checking it.
And in that case, Dr. Nagpal, you can please give the vote of thanks.
There is some, I hope there is some connectivity issue with Professor Mishra's connection, that he's lost the connection. So it is a great pleasure and privilege that we had the panelist, esteemed panelists today with us. And it is indeed an honor for our university, specifically School of Law and Constitutional Studies, that we had the opportunity to listen to the eminent speakers who have excelled in their own fields by sheer hard work. So having you all with us today, our students would definitely benefit from today's webinar. And this pandemic taught us many things, which is primarily that learning did not stop. And what we thought to be getting over in a period of few days, few weeks, took 2 months and now nearly a year. So we were the first university in the region to start sending the e-content to the students on the first day of lockdown, and switching over to e-learning, Zoom classes, Google Meet classes from very soon of period of this lockdown in this entire region. So hopefully till the time we meet all physically here in the campus, because nothing can replace the classroom teaching, the fun of the campus, and your physical presence has no match. This Google and Zoom cannot match, but we ensure that learning should not stop. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time. Justice Tandon, we are extremely thankful to you, sir. Anup Varshaneji, we've troubled you for the second time, and we want you to have be with us in the campus to address all our students. Similar with Justice Tandon, sir, we will definitely call you the moment the things are normal and streamlined. हम आपको यही सुनना चाहेंगे और स्टूडेंट से फिजिकली मुलाकात कराना चाहेंगे सर, आप अपने पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंसेस शेयर करने के लिए. और आई एम एक्सट्रीमली थैंकफुल टू प्रोफेसर मिश्रा. उनका पुलिस एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का जो एक्सपीरियंस है वो एज प्रोफेसर ऑफ लॉ हमारे बहुत यूजफुल, बहुत काम आ रहा है. सो वी आर एक्सट्रीमली प्रिविलेज्ड टू हैव हिम एज अ फैकल्टी ऑफ लॉ इन स्कूल ऑफ लॉ. थैंक यू सो मच प्रोफेसर गर्ग, हमारे वाइस चांसलर. We are doing everything under his visionary leadership, and he keeps us motivated. That is the greatest privilege of having such an eminent academician and a scientist with us as a leader. And not the least is our Chancellor, Sir Honorable Kumar Shekhar Vijendra ji. We cannot do anything if we are not guided by him in all steps. And hearing you, sir, is not only inspiring for the students, but inspires us as well to work hard, to do better day by day, to keep evaluating our performances every day. So we hope to keep the mission of the university as the management wants, and will work in that direction. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you so much for being present. And this session comes to an end with my words. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks to all.
Yeah, thank you very much.